Right, so good day class. So I think last time we discussed about mixed methods research. So now we're gonna discuss a bit about phenomenology and case research design. So this slide is credited to my dissertation advisor, Dr. Sara Namoko. So the topics that we're going to cover are the characteristics of phenomenology and case study, constructing research questions for phenomenology and case study, and methods of phenomenology and case study. So there are five approaches to qualitative research. So when you talk about qualitative research, I think for me, it has something to do much more with people and emotions. So you could go into phenomenology, uh, you go to grounded theory, go to case study, or ethnography, or narrative inquiry. So these are the five approaches. Then we have the case study also. So let's define. When you say phenomenology, so phenomenology is a study that is designed to understand the subjective lived experiences and perspectives of participants. Compare that to the case study. Case study is an in-depth and detailed investigation of the development of a single event, situation, or an individual over a period of time. So you could see the difference between the two. Then phenomenology again, the intent is to understand the phenomena in their own terms, to provide a description of human experience as it is experienced by the person, him or herself. So phenomenology has something to do with experiences. While a case study, researchers conducting a case study often explore a problem or issue from which a detailed understanding arises. So by investigating one particular case or several cases. Then the units of analysis. So when you talk about phenomenology, studying one or more individuals and their experiences. Then it focuses on individuals, meaning making as the core element of their experience. So if you talk about phenomenology, we're looking into the meaning that is derived from the individuals. So the core element, which is their experience. While in a case study, studying an event or program, an activity, or more than one individual. So you have focus on developing an in-depth description and analysis of a particular case or multiple cases on specific situations, events, or programs. So that's a case study. So in phenomenology, there's the need to describe the essence, the meaning of a lived phenomenon, then to describe the meaning of the person's experiences as they are lived, while in a case study, you are providing an in-depth understanding of a case or cases. Then to describe in depth the experiences of one person, family, community, or an institution. So the strategies for data analysis between both are different. In phenomenology, analyzing the data for looking for significant statements, meaning units, textual and structural description, and description of the essence. So that's phenomenology. While in case study, we're analyzing data through description of the case and themes of the cases as well as cross-case themes. For the outcomes, phenomenology In phenomenology, findings are described from the subject's point of view. Then the researchers identify the themes that occur. While in case study, there's an in-depth description of the experience. So you can see the difference here, class. So in phenomenology, we are focused more on the point of view of the subjects. For the data analysis and the explicitation of data in phenomenology, we classify and rank data, and look for a sense of wholeness, examine experiences beyond human awareness or which cannot be communicated, while in a case study we're looking into the synthesis of experiences. So in between the two, looking into living with the data. You have to cluster and categorize the data, examine the concepts and themes. You define relationship between and among the concepts or themes. Okay. For the summary, for the data procedures, the research focus on phenomenology is understanding the essence of the experience. The unit of analysis is studying several individuals who have shared the experience. And the type of research problem best suited for the approach is the need to describe the essence of a lived phenomenon. Then the form of data collection are individual interviews, the documentations, and of course you have to look into the duration of data collection because sometimes if you collect data from different time periods in time, they might be significantly different. Then the strategies of data analysis for phenomenology is that the analyzing data for significant statements, meaningful units, textual, and structural description of the essence. So you're looking into what are the emerging themes during the interview. While in a case study, the research focus is developing an in-depth description and analysis of a case or multiple case. Then the unit of analysis is studying an event or program, an activity, or more than one individual. Then the type of research problem best suited for this approach is providing an in-depth understanding of a case of cases. So here in architecture class, I think we're more into case studies, especially when we are looking into different buildings and we are comparing them. Then the forms of data collection is through interviews, observations, documents, and artifacts. Then the strategies of data analysis that analyzing data description of the case and themes of the case as well as cross case themes. For the limitations, phenomenology in the information relies heavily on the interviewing skills of the researcher and the articulating skills of the participants. So in phenomenology, in order to have data that is meaningful, um, the researcher needs good interviewing skills so that the researcher can explore on the different themes. So if the researcher is relatively new, then the researcher will have a hard time. Um, that's why class it's easier to conduct a quantitative study because the procedure in quantitative studies, I think it's already well defined. You just have to follow the formula and then you'll get the right answer or the right description of the phenomena that you are investigating. But if you're looking into qualitative study, it, it gets a lot more complicated because it relies a lot on your skill. Then the case study, the information obtained from the case study cannot be used to make generalizations. So these are the two limitations, class. So for the research question development in phenomenology, the what are the experience are and how they experience it. So this is how you're going to ask. Then research questions that a phenomenologist would ask are driven by his or her need to derive information from these individuals' experiences, which provides information about the process instead of the outcome. In the case study, the main research questions are how or why questions. So there's a similarity. In phenomenology and case study, you still ask a how question. The how and why questions are more explanatory and are likely to lead the use of a case study. Such questions deal with the tracing of operational processes over time rather than mere frequencies or incidents. For the pitfalls, when the research question development, the tendency for researchers to attempt to answer a question that is too broad or a topic that has too many objectives for one study. So as much as possible, class, you have to be realistic with the objectives of your study. Not to place as many objectives, but try to consolidate everything. So the suggestion is to place boundaries. So you set boundaries by time and place, when you're going to conduct it and where you're going to conduct it, the time and activity. Then we have also by definition and context. So qualitative research questions need to articulate what a researcher wants to know about the intentions and perspectives of those involved in social interactions. That's from Aggie 2009. And then good qualitative questions should invite a process of exploration and discovery. So, if you really need to learn how to explore, class, if you want to develop good qualitative questions, then qualitative research questions are those that are describing states and those that describe processes. So poorly conceived or constructed questions will likely create problems that affect all subsequent stages of a study. Qualitative questions usually inform the direction of the study in both theoretical and methodological terms. So what are the characteristics of good research questions in a qualitative study? One is focus. So you narrow the focus to frame and follow a specific set of events or actions in the broader perspective. Then it should be answerable. It's important to frame the words so that the phrasing implicitly or explicitly make a link with the theory. Then it leads or contains a presupposition about participants or events. So it should lead to discover meaning throughout the inquiry process. So, question, how do teachers perceive professional development on strategies for helping at-risk students? So the questions, who were those teachers? How did their perceptions reflect the context of their school district? Then what is the duration of professional development? So you could see, class, that from this one problem, we're able to develop this set of questions so that you'll be able to answer the problem more effectively. So how does a high school teacher perceive a one-week professional development workshop that's focused on instructional strategies for at-risk students? Another question is, for example, is how do college students feel about their campus library? So you interview all college students in the world, so it does not make sense. So what is it about the library that you want to investigate? You should know that the specific services provided by the library, its accessibility, then which time frame, which semester. A question is, how do college students of University ABC view the online services offered by the campus library? So in the research question development, these are the words you're going to use. How, what, generate, identify, describe, meaning, outline, experience, explore, discover, and then the words you're going to avoid are relate, impact, effect, cause, influence, compare, and contrast. So these are the examples of effective interview questions. So for example, is the customer service good at your favorite cafe or coffee shop? The reasons, a rule of thumbs, qualitative research questions should never be able to be answered by yes or no. Another research question, what do you like most about your favorite coffee or coffee shop? So you could discover that the quality of customer service is more important than the location for cafe patrons when it comes to determining which coffee shop is their favorite. So we'll stop at here, class. If you have further questions or clarifications, you can consult me anytime during our synchronous class lecture or at the office. You can visit me anytime. Then please consult with me because I need your outputs already as a group and individually. Okay? So good luck, guys.